Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy 6Shot, the 6Shot Gaming Channel. Today I have another what to do on block video. This time be talking about the god of destruction himself, Lord Beerus. So like always people, if you find this video useful, please smash the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell to get notified every single time I drop a new video. Also, make sure to check the description box below to get access to all my social media accounts. But anyways, let's get started with this video. So the first thing we're going to talk about on block with Beerus is just his standing heavy at the end of his block strings. His standing heavy is a really good tool just to throw out for the end of the block strings. You can just end off your block string with standing heavy, because one, it's a true block string because you cannot reflect or press buttons in between it. So that's one good thing about it, and it causes a lot of pushback. And the one good thing about the standing heavy, that since it causes so much pushback and is safe, your opponent cannot punish you at all with any type of move. So another good thing about the standing heavy attack is due to the pushback of the standing heavy, you could do a down medium after that if your opponent is not checking their legs. So that's a really good strategy to use. The only thing about that is that they could easily avoid this by jumping or anything like that, or they can easily attack you out of your down medium. So you gotta be worried about that. So one good thing you could do to counter attack your opponent trying to do anything after you're standing heavy is just the standing key blast attack. So if you do the standing key blast attack right after you're standing heavy and your opponent's pressing buttons, they will be hit. And this standing key blast attack is pretty good. It's a fast attack, and it's a fast attack and it's safe on block. So and you recover very quickly from it. You could easily reflect it though, but it doesn't matter if you reflect because you cannot get punished after reflect. So that's one good thing about it. Another thing is if you're trying to vanish, the vanish will not come out because the vanish doesn't start off quick enough, because that's just how fast the standing key blast attack is. So that's one good thing about it. Another thing about his standing key blast attack is that if you're trying to super dash through it, you can super dash through it, but even if you super dash through it, you're going to recover fast enough, and if you're not on point with super dash, then you're going to get hit. But one thing you could do is invincibility startup moves like a level 3 super or any move with invincibility. You just got to keep in mind that you're going to be pushed back out very far, so most DPs won't reach. So next thing we're going to go over is his down key blast attack after a standing heavy. So his down key blast attack in a block string is pretty decent. It leaves that orb on the screen, and if your opponent's trying to attack after while the orb is on the screen, they will get hit by the orb, and you can easily go into advantage combos and so on and so forth from there. So it's pretty good. And one thing about the orb though is that you could super dash through the orb, but you recover quick enough to block. So that's one good thing about it. But a way you can punish the orb is by just doing a vanish, and you're not going to recover quick enough to get hit by the vanish, to not get hit by the vanish. And another thing you could do is a quick enough level 1 super or level 3 to hit on the Beerus out the orb. One thing about the orb though is that you could bait super dashes with the orb. So you could throw the orb out there, and then if you anticipate a super dash, you can easily punish just like so. So another move that's useful that you incorporate into his block strings is his dunk attack. I forgot the name of the move, so I'm just gonna call it the dunk. This move, if block, is 100% safe on block. There's nothing the opponent can do. They could dash up, anything like that, but you're completely safe if the move is blocked. But there are ways to punish it. Another thing about it is that if your opponent is pressing buttons, there is a gap. So if the opponent is pressing buttons, you will get hit. So you cannot press buttons or try to vanish out the move at all, because you will get hit by the move. So keep that in mind as well. So one way to get around this move is by 2H'ing it, because you're airborne when the move is done. So you can easily 2H it. Another way you could beat the move out is by reflecting. And when you reflect the move, you push back the opponent, but you're pushed back so far that you cannot get punished. So that's one good thing about it. Another way to get punished by the move is by doing an invincible startup move or a level 3 super. So to stop yourself from being punished, this is where a well-timed assist comes in handy. So when you have a well-timed assist, it will stop your opponent from punishing you. And once you get them to block, you can start with all your mix-up options, because Beerus dunk attack, after the dunk, he has all his mobility air-wise. So you can start going for crazy mix-up shenanigans. So one of the things you could do is with a well-timed assist, you could do a forward dash into a double overhead, and you can punish your opponent just like so. Then you could do a forward dash into an overhead low, and that's very good for mix-up as well. You could do a forward dash out the air after well-timed assist into an empty low. You could do a forward dash after well-timed assist into a cross-up low, and that's pretty dirty. That mix-up is really, really good. And you can even do a super dash cross-up mix-up into an overhead, and that's really good as well. And you could cross up and just do a empty jump grab, and you can do this on both sides. You can cross up or don't cross up, and it works as well. So now we're going to talk about the medium version of his dunk move. So this move is semi pretty good. So the thing about this move is when you do the dunk move, you end up back on the original side that you was on. Even though it crosses you up, you end up back on the original side. And once you get back to the original side, you're safe. But if you actually get hit on the cross-up side, you're unsafe. And it's pretty hard. The timing 2H in this move is not the same timing as when you 2H or down heavy the light version. If you do it too quickly, you're gonna whiff completely. So you have to wait until Beerus is on the cross-up side of you. But some characters 2Hs still won't hit. So like you see right here, if you do it too early, you will miss. But if you wait until Beerus down heavy, Beerus dunk move is on the side, on the cross-up side, you can easily 2H it. Again, with the well-timed assist, you can stop your opponent from punishing you. So I really recommend you using assist while you do this move. And when you come back to the other side, you're completely safe, so you don't gotta worry about being punished. So after the assist call, you can get mix-ups again with a overhead attack. Or after the assist call, you hop back over into a empty low. Or you can do the assist call, come back over into a command grab, dragon rush, not command grab, sorry, a dragon rush. And you can even do the assist call, and since you still have all your movement, your air movement options, you can even do a air dash into a double overhead. Or you can even air dash on the other side and do mix-ups like this. You can do the dunk on the other side, hit your opponent pressing buttons. Or you could air dash the other side, do a low. Or you can air dash to the other side and do a dragon rush. The air dash other side is more gimmicky, but if your opponent's off guard, you can still catch him with this. So the next move we're going to talk about that you can incorporate on block is Beerus Destruction Kick, the light version. And the light version of this move is 100% safe on block if it's blocked. There are all ways to get around this move. And if your opponent is pressing buttons during the move, they will get hit, and you can easily confirm it to a Vantage combo from there. So you cannot press buttons during this move at all. You're going to get hit. So be aware about that. Another thing about this move is that you can reflect it because there is a gap in between, but he pushes you out so far back that you can't get nothing off of it. And you can do any type of invincibility startup moves to punish the kick of the destruction kick. So be aware about that. But vanishes and other stuff like that does not work. So one thing about the move is when you do the move regular, he does a kick. But when you hold down the button, he just sends the orb out, and the orb is on after you block this move is 100% safe, and it keeps your opponent into a true block string. So you cannot do nothing. So be aware about that. So the next thing we're gonna go over is the medium version of this move. And the medium version of this move is 100% safe if you block the move. It's as you can see right there, it's 100% safe. The only bad thing about the medium version of the move is that you could easily 2H it because you're airborne. And the orb does not hit, so you gotta be very aware about that. But some characters actually, if you take too long to try to 2H it, the orb will actually hit them. So if you instantly react to it, you get 2H them. But if you wait and try to react, then you can't. And this move is really, really good to use in the corner, because in the corner, if your opponent's pressing buttons and they get hit by the orb, you can start a full combo. And if it's blocked, you're +1, I believe, in the corner. So you could cut, and you're airborne, so you're going to easily hit your opponent out of any type of thing they're going to do. I think they could 2H, if I'm not mistaken. If I was testing out, I think you 2H, but maybe you can't even 2H. Any type of button press, you're a plus on block, and you can easily keep pressure up like that. And you can only do this with the medium version. Kid Buu, smaller characters though is a different story. Smaller characters could easily get out of it. As you can see, Kid Buu can just get out with his auto combo. So, but other characters besides that cannot. You do have some defensive options against it. One of your defensive options is a vanish attack, because there is a big gap in between. Another defensive option you have is to reflect. You could easily reflect and punish. And another defensive option you have is a visible startup move, like a DP or a level 3, just like so. So one thing you can do to counteract your opponent trying to punish you is to hold down the destruction kick. They cancel out the kick, and you're only going to get the orb, and you're going to be 100% safe. Another thing you can do is call out assist to back you up, so your opponent cannot punish you. But once the assist is over as a defender, you can easily reflect or do a invincible level 3 if you feel like your opponent is going to try to keep on attacking after the assist. So if you feel like your opponent is going to try to reflect, you can easily bait out the reflect and do a down medium, or you could bait out the reflect and do a dragon rush grab. Those are two options you have to bait out reflect. Another thing is the cancel version of the destruction kick is very good for baiting out reflex as well, and you can do this mid screen, so that's very good. So moving on, when you do assist, you have all your air movement options after the destruction kick. So you can do stuff like this. You can get air mix-ups, so you can do air dash into a double overhead or air dash cross up if they try and reflect, and you're going to end up behind them, and you can punish them just like so. So that's very good. You could do you could drop down for a dragon rush grab. You don't even got to do the air dash, or you can do an air dash and do a dragon rush grab. You can call the assist, drop down into a medium, because they're going to be looking for the overhead. You could do the double. You could air dash into the double overhead and get a full combo from there. You can air dash into an anti-low. You basically have all the same type of mix-ups you had from the dunk moves we learned earlier. So moving on, after a safe move, one of Beerus' safe move options, you could do his DP after. His DP, you do this by doing a quarter circle back in the key blast button. And it's invincible on startup, so if your opponent is trying to attack you right after you do a safe move, you can actually do this move out, and if it hits, you can do a vanish combo from there. And this move actually beats out a lot of stuff. It beats out a vanish. It beats out attacks. It beats out standing heavy attacks. It beats out key blasts. It beats out down H's or down heavies. It beats out a lot of stuff. So this is pretty, it beats out reflex as well. You can't reflect it, you're going to get hit. So this is pretty a good move to use. It even beats out some supers, but if you do the super, I believe, too early, you will, if you like, basically, if you do the super instantly, it's going to beat it out. But if you try to react and do the super, no, actually, if you do the super as a reversal, it's going to beat it out. If you do the super as a reversal, it's going to even beat out level 3s. If you do it a little bit late, if you sit on the super a little bit and then do the super, they're going to hit just like so. But if you do it as a reversal, the DP is actually going to beat it out. So keep that in mind. The surefire way to beat this move out is just by super dashing. If you feel like your opponent is going to use this gimmick, you can just super dash through it and you can punch your opponent just like so. So I won't. This is a pretty good gimmick to use, but I won't use it all the time. So just be aware about that if you're a Beerus player. So moving on, the next thing we're going to talk about is Beerus auto combo. His auto combo, the third his auto combo actually crosses up the opponent. Now the move look like it's an overhead, but it's not an overhead. You could just all you have to do is block the F away, and you can block it crouching. So just be aware about that. And you can easily interrupt Beerus during the cross through animation for his auto combo. So to avoid being punished, call an assist during the time period as you're crossing through the opponent, so you won't get punished, just like so. So just remember that you can do any type of special move after his auto combo. So just intertwine that with all the mix-ups you learned earlier, and you can get some pretty crazy left-right mix-ups, so on and so forth, especially if you have a well-timed assist call. But yeah, folks, that's the end of the road for today's video. What to do on block Lord Beerus. Hopefully you was able to learn something new today. If you was able to learn something new, please smash the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Check out some of the past content. Make sure, if you haven't already, to hit the notification bell to get alerted every single time I drop a new vid, because I want all of y'all to get the videos as soon as I drop it. So make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, make sure that you check the description box below to get access to all my social media accounts, so on and so forth. And I have a Discord page. I'm probably gonna put the Discord link on below, so make sure you follow me on Discord as well. But anyways, like always, people, hopefully you have a nice day. Peace.